Our merchandise is now available in our store. You can get playmats, sleeves, dice, coins, and tokens. Right now until the end of January, get 10% off of your order when you enter Mox Masters January at checkout. All sales go to help the channel, so thank you all very much. Playing with Power is excited to announce the first annual Mox Masters Invitational coming in Q3 of 2023. It is an in-person cedh tournament weekend with thousands of dollars in prizes. How do you get to the Invitational? By winning Mox Masters points through your tournaments this year. We award points to the top 32 spots in our tournaments. With enough points, you get an automatic qualification to the Q3 event. Want to go but don't feel ready to participate in Mox Masters? Want to prepare for the Mox Masters tournament themselves? Our webcam Discord League awards Mox Masters points as well. If you subscribe to our Patreon at any tier, you get an automatic entry into our monthly webcam leagues. We award points to the top 10 of the leagues every month. January's registration is already open and there are still some tickets left. You can also sign up to our Patreon and start playing in the league right now. Thank you all for your support, and we will see you at the tournament. We have recently revamped our Patreon, adding a ton of new perks. We are introducing Patreon webcam playdays. Once per month, we will be hosting a playdate on our Discord playing webcam games with all of our patrons. All tiers qualify. We are introducing Patreon exclusive gameplay videos as well. These videos are not available to the public and only for patrons. We are also introducing a new merchandise tier. When you sign up to this tier, you'll receive a merchandise bundle with all kinds of Playing with Power goodies. This revamp is in order to give more to those who already support us. Thank you all very much for your support and sign up today.
Hello and good morning, everybody, and welcome to Mox Masters for January 2023. My name is Scott, or Scoots, whatever you would like, and I am joined by the wonderful, the very handsome, and the very smart Adam, aka Poppy Phobia. Good morning, Adam.
Good morning, Scott. It's good to be here with you. Happy to be casting what should be a wonderful event today.
It should be really good. We have a lot of people who have had deep runs in the competition, and it's going to be a very good series of games. Before we start the series of games, I wanted to take a moment to tell you about a few important things. Number one, on the Playing with Power website, merchandise sales are 10% off with code MOXMastersJanuary through the end of January. So go and get your merch. It's beautiful, it's wonderful, and you should have it. Secondly, there are revamped Patreon tiers, which get you access to the Playing with Power League, in which you can earn points towards the Mox Masters Invitational. Ooh, very exciting. And speaking of the Mox Masters Invitational, it is an in-person cedh tournament happening in Q3 of this year, and you gain points to get an invitation. Basically, you can earn points in either Mox Masters events or the Playing with Power League. So get grinding those points. Adam, we're starting off with a really cool pod. We're going to transition to it in a minute. But today, what are you most excited to see?
I'm most excited to see the variety of decks that are going to be played. One of my favorite things about Mox Masters tournaments is the meta gets really wide in an event like this, and you see a great variety of decks and a lot of people bringing like very low color lists, things like 2-color lists. There's a lot of monocolored decks that you see, and things that you don't always normally expect to see, and they end up cutting through the Swiss rounds like pretty impressively. And
Yeah.
then you see those decks making top 16s and doing things that kind of break the mold of cedh. I mean, we saw earlier this year, right, Tivit win a Mox Masters event, which
Yeah.
was something that previously people didn't think would have happened. So these events really bring a really broad meta to cedh, and I'm super excited to see how that's going to turn out today.
Yeah, absolutely. I always love seeing the tournament rundowns and the results that get posted after the event, and I'm super happy to be involved live and getting to see some of these amazing things. right right from the get-go.
Yeah,
Now,
absolutely.
it seems like we are resolving mulligans. I will say the thing that I am most excited about today is very similar. I love seeing the wide breadth of decks that happens, but the other thing that I'm excited about is seeing what will happen to our well-known tournament contenders that have gone deep in other tournaments. People like Happy Fox Alana, people like Accepted, who's in our first match of the day. People like Z Rob, former tournament Wonder Boy, and now reformed tournament grinder, out to reset the name, out to reclaim the throne. I'm excited to see what those players will do, and I'm excited to be blown away by some new players who maybe this is their first tournament, which is one of my favorite things about these online events is that people take them as their first tournament and they really start a legacy. They really start to show what they're made of.
Yeah, no, absolutely. That is like one of the most exciting things about events like this is because there is a storied history of online players who consistently top 16 or make it to the cut, right? And so seeing how many of those players can keep that consistency up, as well as how many new players that maybe didn't think they had the chance make it through.
Yeah.
I know that like recently there was lots of we've had so many events this year, and in things like chaos events, right, you've had people win that this has been maybe their second tournament, or they players that expected to just come in and try out the format and drop make it to top 16. So there's a lot of cool storylines that get to develop here in an event like this, and something that's really cool is that because this event uses command tower, you get to see those storylines unfold using the eminence profiles, right? So an event
Yeah.
like this gets tracked on your profile, and so you get to see how your win rate is in this tournament, how your win rate progresses over time, and then you get to see that the storylines of each player kind of develop, which is really unique and something that I think is really fun to be bringing to cedh, and I'm excited to see how that unfolds here in Mox Masters.
Definitely. I am very excited to see this in real time, and it looks like time in the round has started. We're resolving mulligans. I think we're ready to go, and here we go. So
Yeah.
Dylan going to be leading with the Urza Saga.
Yeah, so for this pod here, we have Toaster going first. We have Liliana Necromancer at the top right going second. We have Alex Accepted, who's made lots of deep runs here in Mox Masters, going third. And then we have Kin and Cam from Asylum Gaming going fourth.
Uh, Liliana Necromancer, I believe, being Southside Crow.
Yeah, and Southside Crow leading off with a
Looks like a flooded strand.
yep, Flooded Strand pass. Alex cracking a Bloodstained Mire, getting a land and casting a Birds of Paradise. And then you
I'm
have
assuming it's a
Kinnan
taiga.
leading with a island into a
To
Soul
a
Ring.
soul ring. So the thing about the Urza Saga from Toaster on Shorikai is I know that the deck always struggles without colored mana. So sometimes there's a thing with Urza's Saga where it does get you a one drop on turn 3, but sometimes in first seat, Urza's Saga pass feels like it doesn't feel great to me. I think it's you mulligan to the best of your abilities and you grab what you have, but I'm interested to see how this plays out for Toaster.
Yeah, so knowing Toaster Shorikai list, it's actually a really stacks heavy version of
Mhm.
Shorikai. So this Urza Saga, looking at a pod like Kinnan and Kenrith, there's a lot of options with it, right? You can get
Yeah.
things like Grafdigger's Cage or Mana Rocks to accelerate your game plan. So maybe anticipating you'll be able to get a turn two, you feel comfortable leading with a colorless land. And we missed Asylum Gaming there, casting a
A
Chromox,
Chromox imprinting
exiling
a
a
Birds of
bird.
Paradise. And it looks like we have a hollowed fountain into something from the Warhammer set. I cannot tell what card it is.
Yeah, Warhammer cards do make it a little difficult to tell what is being played. We're moving on now to
We've got the fetch from Southside Crow. I can only assume that we are getting a volcanic island here.
Chat saying this might be a blind obedience from the Shorakai player.
Okay. Oh, it's is that Addercar Wastes? Okay. Addercar Wastes into blind obedience.
Yep. So yeah, that is a blind. Yeah, looking at their deck list, yep, that is the Warhammer 40k art for blind obedience.
Very cool. A steam vents. They are fetching up a steam vents, maybe to the battlefield tapped.
Yeah,
I love the Clark Sakashima altars on the top of the playmat there.
I think those are Rockies, right?
Those look like Rockies. They're very nice. They got that panorama look to them.
Yeah, the panorama
very
wave. Yeah. So already, I think that Kin and Cam here is off to a great start.
Yeah.
Playing something like Kinnan, funnily enough, getting two
weirdly
mana rocks
enough.
down early, being able to get your Kinnan down on turn 2. If you have, a land drop or some more mana, you're getting a lot closer to being able to activate Kinnan. Something that I think is really, really good to advance your board state with, getting out there a little bit faster than the Kenrith deck. The only thing I'm worried about is if Toaster ends up getting that Grafdigger's Cage, it's going to make the Kinnan game plan a little bit harder.
I mean, already the blind obedience from Toaster is a fairly backbreaking stacks piece into this pod with accepted being on Dockside combos, Asylum Gaming being on Basalt Monolith, which will enter tapped, which is a pain in the butt, and the mana rocks are a little bit slower. You're slowed down a little bit. Whereas I think for a deck like Clark Sakashima, you can survive with just a turn 2 Clark pass here.
Oh, but a big move here from Southside Crow, going with a Jeweled Lotus into a Chrome Mox and then playing an Ancient Tomb as land for turn. This would have been a really explosive turn if that blind obedience was not in play.
Yeah, and we're imprinting a Mindbreak Trap on the Chrome Mox, so the next turn is probably the Zoom turn, I think.
Yeah, that was what a sweet keep though. I'm assuming that we must have top decked that Jeweled Lotus unless we were holding on to the Mindbreak Trap and don't want to play the Clark, because sometimes that Clark can bite you.
Yeah.
Moving into Alex's turn, playing a Tundra as our land for turn after we fetched a Bayou on turn 1. Looks like we passed, holding up 3 mana.
And we're seeing a turn 2 Kinnan out of Asylum, Kinnan Cam. It's a mana confluence, I think, into a turn 2 Kinnan.
Very nice, very nice. So, if that's all from Kinnan, I'm assuming we're going to be moving into Toaster's turn here. That Urza Saga is about to pop. So, what will we be grabbing? This will be fun to see. And judging by our mana situation, I'm assuming we're just going to float a colorless because we cannot make a construct.
Yeah, we don't have construct mana, so we're gonna float a colorless. We're gonna get a colorless mana counter from the Epic Storm to represent it. And what are we gonna get? Is it, if you're short guy, you get a mana source here, right?
You have to, I think, but we will see. It looks like we go for the Soul Ring.
Soul Ring. Hey,
I wonder if Toaster and Asylum called each other before the match and were like, "Hey, make sure we bring our matching Soul Rings."
Soul Rings? Yeah, no, I'm sure they did. Okay, so we see the Soul Ring coming from the Urza Saga. So Shortkai has a lot of colorless mana. The Blind Obedience and an Addercar Wastes. Doing the Brazilian cut for the deck. See what we get now.
And we are going to play.
Give us the rest in peace. Let's
Island
go.
as my land for turn.
Love that island art. Very cool island art from the new Kamigawa set.
I think I'm.
Yeah. So what will we
I'm gonna
be
try
doing with
and
all
get
this
my
mana
big
here?
old robot out there. Tap.
I mean, we could just cast Shorikai. That I feel like that is often a pretty good plan.
Yeah, I would definitely agree there. We have quite a bit of cards in hand too. We could have kept a really strong 7 here and maybe put in another detrimental stacks piece, but it looks like we're going right through with the Shorikai.
Yeah,
So really good board state right now from Toaster. Uh,
definitely. The blind obedience is still doing a lot. I think doing a lot of work. So
oh, absolutely.
Make broom broom guy right here.
And then activating and
accepted with the great headgear.
wait,
Just
what?
just accepted with the great headgear.
Yeah, rocking the MF Doom mask.
Rocking the Doom mask. Rest in power.
This. Yeah. All right,
Using
now
our floating mana to make a pilot, draw a card.
yeah, and for stream's sake, I think we will utilize Southside Crow's name is Liliana Necromancer because that's how it appears to them.
For stream's sake.
Yeah. So then moving to Liliana's turn, it looks like we're gonna start getting the Krark Sakashima engine going. Let's
Here's
see.
the Krark.
Yeah. Man, these altars are so nice. I really like the look
They
of
are really
this.
nice. We have one commander red floating. We're probably going to tap a Chrome Mox and and cast a Sakashima here. Maybe?
No, I don't think so because oh no,
yeah,
there we go.
Okay. We have produced the requisite amount of mana. So Sakashima on the stack. Everyone looking at their hands. There's the snap targeting the Krark, undoubtedly.
Ooh. Such a fun play. Always holding the removal for when the Sakashima gets cast. The Sakashima
It's so
will
brutal
enter as a Sakashima.
As a Sakashima.
That's the downside to that setup, right? When there's that blind obedience in play and you're putting down like your Jeweled Lotus, you're really telegraphing your play here. So Alex knowing I can just hold on to this snap and there's a perfect time to use it.
And we just recast the Krark after the snap resolved.
Yeah, still not a bad play getting just
Not
the
bad.
Krark down, but you really feel it there not having that Sakashima in play. Depending on the cards in hand too, with 2 mana open, it's very easily for Krark and Sakashima to win the game, being both on the battlefield.
Jeppa Krog in the chat. The software being used to run the tournament is Command Tower, and you can find out more about that at eminence.events.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Command Tower, a very useful software, streamlining the tournament organization process, allowing anybody with a subscription to run your own tournaments, whether it be at home, at your LGS, or online like this. You can be a TO2 utilizing Command Tower.
I was looking through the standings to see if we had a winner yet, but it seems like with 75 minutes remaining in the round, we don't have a winner yet. So we're not going super fast.
Yeah, no, this is there's a new card put into play here by Kinnan. I'm double checking on what it is. It's a Phyrexian Metamorph secret layer art. What is it copying though? I'm very curious to see. We'll get some insight here on what the Phyrexian Metamorph is targeting. But this will be it's a pretty interesting play there from Kinnan.
What will the Phyrexian Metamorph enter as? I'm sure we will learn. It could be a Birds of Paradise. I don't know.
No, sir. I would like to have it come in as a copy of the Krark. No, I don't want a Krark. That'd be gross. Kinnan and Krark, no thanks. No, I would like a copy of the
Now, did we
That makes sense.
miss something here? It looks like the Kinnan has been removed.
Okay.
I will
It is
wonder if
and that will be the end of
we
Removal came down on the cannon.
Oops. Sorry.
Oh, there's an
Abrupt
abrupt decay from
from
Alex. Okay.
Alex.
I'm gonna untap.
I've
Yes.
happening is I'll click it 3 times, then you'll click it 3 times.
here
Just a loop.
just trying to get the
Then I'm gonna draw this card.
Yep.
We are
All right, so
Basically,
moving
it's
on
10
to Toaster's turn here, you can see that we have a 1/1 token currently on the battlefield, a Blind Obedience in play, Shorakai online, and then a Soul Ring and 2 lands. We have a full grip as well, so this could be a
Yes.
big turn here from Toaster. I'm
Metamorph copying Soul Ring. Yeah, that's probably correct. DJ Yavamaya.
yeah, that would that'd be a good assumption.
We're drawing 2. Yeah.
And it seems
We're-
like you're correct in that the Metamorph did copy the Soul Ring. We got some
We've
confirmation.
discarded a Seagate Restoration that is flipped over to the Seagate Reborn side.
I'm going to play a
Yeah, just kind of,
Clouds as my
crewing
next card.
Shorakai, drawing cards, putting more mana into play. This Blind Obedience is sort of doing enough here at the moment that Toaster doesn't, I don't think, feel very pressured to move much faster than they are.
And Toaster has a really good amount of mana and very good card advantage in play. Looking very good.
Oh yeah. I mean, we could get to the point here where if we start slamming down pieces like humilities and things like that, that this game really gets taken over quickly.
Yeah.
With this amount of mana and this amount of cards, I wouldn't be surprised to see some really heavy pieces in play. But also, Shorakai does have a huge counter sweep package, so we could just hold up mana, right, and just kind of keep biding our time, accruing these warriors with or these 1/1 tokens with Shorakai.
Pilots. I
the
think we're going to
pilots, yeah.
combat. Are we doing the combat thing?
Kenrith.
Or are we attacking?
Attacking Alex,
I will do
maybe?
nothing in my second main and move past my turn.
Looks like it.
Realize I hit 2 from the Ancient Tomb last turn.
Nice. And now we're moving on to Liliana's turn with the Sakashima, which is a Sakashima. Don't get that mistaken. And then a
Just
Clark
a
on the back.
Sakashima and then a Clark.
Frantic Search.
Oh, it looks like we're going to cast a Frantic Search here.
Frantic Search. All right, let's see a Clark trigger.
Yes, exactly.
Frantic Search, one of the, I think, better advantage pieces in the deck, but it looks like we got a return to hand.
Yeah, it looks like odds are going to be bounce and evens will be copy. Seems to be
Evens
the
will be
standard
copy.
for
It seems
most.
to be, yeah, standardized.
Okay, didn't do this to me.
And that looks like a 4, so
A
now we're going to
4, so
copy
looks like
it.
we're going to get a copy.
I pass on the.
We're
I
off
mean,
to the races.
Yeah, we get to untap 3 lands here, do it again. Yeah, this is
I pass
Draw
on
2,
the-
discard 2, untap 3 lands. Pretty good.
lots of filtering. But we're gonna see what the yield is exactly.
Yeah.
I know that a lot of Quark decks are. Let's see if this one actually is before I say this. But a lot of them are running the Underworld Breach Brain Freeze piles as well. And so with a Frantic Search, it's almost like a Brain Freeze Light, letting you fill your graveyard.
Yeah.
Especially if these copies continue to go on the stack.
Well,
This
I think we're going to, since we only have 1 Clark, we're just going to resolve this copy and then that's it. Then there's the original.
Oh, that's right, because you don't get another bounce.
We are pitching a brain freeze to the Frantic Search though, so breach probably there.
Yeah.
As it turns out.
This is this is a variation of Clark Sakashima that I really like because I think that Underworld Breach is probably one of the most powerful cards in our format.
I think
And
so too.
when you get even in a 2-color deck like Clark and Sakashima, the fact that every ritual for you or every cantrip for you is a win the game card, being able to just cast a Underworld Breach and then cast a cantrip from your graveyard,
Use your cantrips again, yeah.
and then get it to bounce back to your hand is absolutely insane for a deck like this. And so I think it's just kind of a free roll to be running Underworld Breach, even though I know it's a point of contention for a lot of Clark players who don't think the deck needs something like that.
I pass priority.
Turns out free spells are pretty broken. Yeah, no, that seems correct. In fact, we are netting mana off these Frantic Searches because we have the Ancient Tomb. So
Oh yeah,
No,
this
he
is
said he was going to, but then he didn't.
that's quite powerful.
yeah, we are netting 2 colorless
Then I will
mana.
draw 2. I will discard a
Yeah, and the
Final
interesting
Fortune
part about
Final
this is
Fortune to the yard? Okay.
and
very
a
cool. Yeah, this deck has some really spicy cards in it. Typical like Kark enablers,
card.
things like Harmonic Prodigy, right? All the good stuff. And then it also runs these
Then I
cool like
will
extra turn effects, and
untap.
then like the Underworld Breach package, almost as though it's like an NBC Kark
No,
Sakashima.
bad cards, Crack Sakashima, maybe.
Yeah, shouts out
Yeah.
to Drake there, the
Shout out
NBC.
to Viral Drake, the NBC king.
4 floating, then 2, 4, 5, 6.
We're
7.
tracking mana. We're using our floating blue. This is overloaded Psych Rift.
Oh, probably rifting our oh no. Oh,
Is this?
overloading?
I think this is a big rift
Pass priority.
because we had 2 floating blue. We tapped another one, and I think there's a 4 floating colorless.
Yeah, no, that would make sense. A big rift here. Oh, I almost in my head, I was like, oh, we probably are rifting our Sakashima, but you can't do that. Actually.
You cannot do that. Yeah.
Yeah, rift only targets things your opponents control.
Yes, exactly.
Everyone looking at their hands. I think Accepted will probably pass on it. He's probably pretty cool with the big rift.
Yeah, like I lose my
Uh,
bird. That's all right.
Yeah.
Like looking at that, Alex actually kept a surprisingly interactive hand with a snap and an abrupt decay. It doesn't look like they were maybe trying to be the I guess like quote unquote the beatdown this game, but instead trying to play a little bit more of a control archetype, just
yes.
kind of biding some time. I know that for Kenrith to kind of do its thing.
Oh, we have a judge call. It's probably regarding Cyclonic Rift, and if
Yes,
the
it's going
copy
to
goes on
copy
the stack
exactly
is
what the spell
overloaded.
is.
I'm
So
guessing.
it would, if it
Oh,
copies
yeah,
it, it'll
that
have
is an
a
interesting
Cyclonic Rift
interesting
The
overload.
question.
NBC King, Cal. Stop trying to start stuff in the comments.
Matrix that
Oh my
NB.
gosh.
Oh
Ray
man.
can be an NB King if he wants to, but
Yeah.
NBC King.
Okay, then perfect. Then I will
Yeah, I got nothing for that.
So it looks like we're resolving the Kark trigger here. We have 2 copies of
We have a
Cyclonic
copy.
Rift.
Yeah, we have a copy of the Cyclonic Rift on the stack. Overloaded or not. It depends on the.
depending on
Yeah, I mean, hey,
yeah, it happens.
either way, it is good. Looks like
Yeah,
the
we-
table is passing on the copy.
Yeah, it's over. It's overloaded. Okay.
Yeah.
Brutal. Okay, we overloaded a big rift. We got 2 of them. That's very exciting. What do we do next? Krork.
Yeah. I was
Combat? Are we doing the combat thing?
oh, look at us strategically placing our altars so that they
In the
line
panorama
up.
view, absolutely. You have to.
Yeah, so let's see. Yeah, we just passed to Accepted's turn. Alex putting down a
Okay.
Misty Rainforest. Not
even
down
punched.
on mana from last turn, right? So
Certainly. Yeah. I mean, Accepted was probably very good with it. Losing a mana dork is very small in the grand scheme of things. So
now, do you think we'll see a Birds of Paradise this turn? This is the big question. We know there's one in hand, so
I hope so. That's the idea.
I think there's an Aven Mind Sensor coming down from Toaster.
oh, on the fetch for
On the fetch.
Misty.
Yeah.
Oh, Alex, you can see a little frustrated.
Alex a little grumped up because of that.
We'll look at the top 4. Let's have it. Oh, we got there.
Hey, never didn't have it.
Never punished. That's awesome. That's always a good feeling when you.
I love to see it happen to honestly for anyone. Just that. Oh yeah, I'm just gonna bink this appropriate land off the top.
Yeah.
Better lucky than good, says DJ Yavamaya. There we go.
Very true. Yeah. There's the thought process that you usually save these flash effects for a tutor
like a
effect,
full-blown tutor.
because now you basically allow the rest of the table to kind of play around the Avid Mind Sensor, whereas maybe Kinnan could have had something like a Mystical Tutor or something that would have been a more detrimental hit here, especially knowing that like a deck like Kenrith has such a land density, but being a 5-color deck, the odds of him having a green source were pretty low. Also, I'm not sure if Alex is the one you want to be stunting the development of, considering he hasn't done a whole lot this game besides kind of play the control aspect.
Yeah, he's recasting his birds here. So yeah, Alex is chilling. Alex is cast the spells that interact with key pieces on the board, and
Yeah, just biding that time. This Kenrith will come down next turn, and then we're gonna start doing things very quickly here.
we're gonna do things after that. The Brazilian cut being utilized again. Love it.
Very nice. We have Kinnan Cam here putting down the Soul Ring once again. All familiar cards to us. Nothing.
Yeah,
Nothing surprising
we've seen
yet.
these before.
Asylum flashing his hand just a little bit here. Hopefully they'll be able to correct that before the game continues. We know they have a Phyrexian Metamorph. We know they have this Chromox.
It's Chromox that we're recasting.
Ooh, getting rid
Imprinting
of the
Fimage. Okay. All right. Phantasmal Image, one of those pieces that always has this the dichotomy of either being the best thing at the time or completely dead in your hand.
Yeah, well, knowing that we have that Phyrexian Metamorph in hand, the Fimage kind of feels a little less useful, right? Especially because the Metamorph can be an artifact as well, so you can kind of go up on that mana ramp a little bit, whereas the Fimage only hits creatures in, like, what would you want to copy right now? A bird, a Avid Mind Sensor. There's not a lot of useful things in play, so I think pitching the Phantasmal Image of the Chromox here is a really good play, knowing that that Metamorph is going to come down and anticipating that there's probably going to be another Blind Obedience here from Toaster, if not an even more detrimental stacks piece.
And notably, I hear players.
Yeah, we have a little bit of audio in our ear.
Thanks. And notably, Phyrexian Metamorph not able to be imprinted onto Chromox, so the Fimage is the correct choice.
So we have four games right now that have finished in the bracket so far. Just looking at the results. In Pod 10, we know that Kai, Fervent Alchemist, has won their game. In Pod 20, MB Apella has won their game. In Pod 19, Subjective Realities won theirs. And in Pod 11, Vaughn has won theirs. So 4 games already have finished, which is pretty exciting to see.
Fervent Alchemist, noted Cloud Farm player. Rigo is are they playing Rigo today?
Yeah, I'm not sure. You can see
Malcolm Vile Smasher Glinthorn combo. Okay. All right.
Malcolm. Yeah.
We love to see it.
So you can see here that the Toaster, the Shorakai player here, has put a Unwinding Clock into play.
Which is Paradox Engine for Shorakai.
Yeah, and Kid and Cam actually Pact of Negation.
Yeah, Kin and Cam hitting it with the Pact. This is one of those situations where a piece of interaction for that Chromox is eliminating a player, and like Cam putting themselves on tough footing with that Pact of Negation on the Unwinding Clock. Making themselves very vulnerable to just death.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, any piece of removal here. Oh, and look at this. We have the Underworld Breach coming down from Liliana Necromancer, the Karksaka
with the brain freeze in line in the yard already.
And with the Blind Obedience not being in play anymore, artifacts don't come into play tap. So, like, if we brain freeze into more mana, this could be a huge turn here.
With no Blind Obedience makes Lotus Petal live, but instead they're doing the cool move, which is to cast the Frantic Search.
Yeah, well, Frantic Search, they go up on mana while they cast it, but they don't go up on cards. So we might just be building up the storm count for a larger brain freeze here, and you getting some mana in our mana pool here. But this is a fun line. I like to see breach lines out of Karksaka.
Frantic Search, let's go, baby. Yes, exactly. Breaching back Frantic Search is a very, very busted interaction.
Yep. Oh, but it's gonna go back to hand here.
Who did we lose?
Yeah,
I whiff coming from Lay on the necromancer.
Yeah, we only have
Outside
one
of
mana
your,
available to
your
us.
monster.
2 with the Chromox. We can cast the Brain Freeze if we
Brain
want.
freeze here, but it's a desperation heave. We're at storm count
I thought you were just gonna brain freeze.
2,
3. It would be Storm Count
3.
3. Yeah.
Yeah.
It would be a desperation heave, but you already put your breach on the stack. What else are you gonna do?
Yeah,
right?
I mean, you have to, right?
And there's no way to get your Underworld Breach back out of the graveyard. And if I'm not mistaken, they don't run a Time Twister either in this list. So once your Underworld Breach is gone, it's gone. So
Personal tutor on the stack, tutoring a card to the top of our library.
I passed priority.
Maybe twice. A blue,
Sorcery for
just a sorcery, I think, for personal tutor, right?
Personal Tutor is a sorcery.
Yeah,
Search
just
your
a
deck
sorcery.
search your deck for a sorcery and reveal that card to all players. Shuffle your deck and put the revealed card on top of it. Rolling the dice off the cam. Let's bring it back into re-roll here.
But I don't believe that you want to win on that, which is very
Weirdly enough, no, I do not
Yeah.
want to win on.
Yeah, so yeah, they're gonna re-roll the dice here,
thing happening to you.
and then
Yeah.
it was a win. This is cool. We can hear the players in our ears here, so we can hear this conversation talking about how how awkward the dice roll off the screen is and things
Yeah.
like that. It's
Aven Mind Sensor. Personal tutoring into the Aven Mind Sensor is certainly a thing you can do. But with the Brain Freeze Live, with the breach in play, I think I'm firing off the Brain Freeze anyway.
Are you going to
yeah. I guess there's the argument for not wanting to put more cards in your graveyard because the likelihood of you whiffing over getting there is so much higher. But
Yeah.
if you put more win conditions in your graveyard, that it's just a detriment to your game plan. So maybe that's why we didn't fire off the Brain Freeze there. But yeah,
It's like we hit the step through off of personal tutor as well. So
So I just put this on top. So I shuffle now.
you shuffle the rest of the deck
They were forced to resolve the copy of personal tutor. We can't shortcut to a state where they just tutor the one card.
yeah,
We gotta shuffle twice. Let's go.
He's the table talking, saying, "All right, do I put this card on top and then shuffle, or do I shuffle and then put it on top?" It's pretty fun. You don't see cards like personal tutor like super often.
Yeah.
Searching for a sorcery, and then we got the step through off the personal tutor. So return 2 target creatures to their owner hands, and you can wizard cycle it for 2. So
I think it's mostly getting a wizard.
yeah, let's see what wizards we could get here. There's like Archmage Emeritus. You've got Dual Caster Mage, Harmonic Prodigy.
Yeah.
Just all the really good wizards.
All the stuff that you want.
Spellseeker.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then Veyron. Yeah, like some of the best cards in Quark Sakashima are in are wizards. Yes, Foot. We did tutor and we did resolve it with the Aven Mind Sensor, and we found a sorcery off the top 4.
Yeah. So and then with the second personal tutor, we found another sorcery off the top 4. Notably, this one, Jessica's Will, which
This
is
one pretty good.
a lightning rod for Quark Sakashima.
That's so fun. I mean, what's the likelihood of resolving 2 personal tutors with an Aven and being able
hitting
to
both times?
yeah, not fail to find both times. It's so fun.
Like the narrowest tutor in the deck, twice hitting.
Still getting there.
Yeah, it's pretty great.
This is this Aven Mind Sensor almost not affecting the table at all in the grand scheme of things. I mean, it's still a stacks piece that hurts to play around, but it's funny how everyone has been able to play around it quite nicely at this point.
I feel like a lot of the time, if you're Clark, you're probably getting Jessica's Will anyway. So maybe the stars have aligned for Outside Crow there.
Yeah, very much so. Also, shouts out to Scoop Phase in the chat.
Clark Gang, Blufftown Bullies. What's up, Scoop?
Scoop never seems to miss a game with Clark on stream. No,
No, pass that Clark radar for sure.
Yeah, the quirk alarm is
Ooh.
going off in Scoop's house for sure.
We have some more wins. I'd like to report. Zane, Pod 8 has won. And in Pod 5, we have Bilbo Swaggins 505 taking down the dub.
Oh, Zane doing a little trash talk here, adding our fellow caster Shauna, letting her know that he won his pod.
Love it.
That's a good,
I love it. Beautiful. Ranger Captain of Eos on the battlefield for Alex Kenrith. We are searching.
Let's
the
hit
top
it.
4 Esper Sentinel.
One more time. Oh, we got
every time there's a hit. Ignoble Hierarch. Love it.
This Avon is doing nothing. No.
It's so sad. But we're casting the Iggy Ig.
Yeah, the Ig Nobel. This is fun. I like how many people are hitting off the Avon.
We're putting up our F6 token here. No responses.
Yep, Drake Sasser in the chat saying Avon Mind Sensor might be washed. Is it not
Avon
worth playing?
washed.
Think about how good this Avon would have been if it was, I don't know, a archivist of Ogma. You know, we would have drawn a few
We would
cards.
have drawn some cards and had the same result of doing nothing. No. As you can see, the sun has appeared in my office here.
Scoot, you're glowing.
I'm very bright now.
Oh. All right, so it looks like we are. Did we activate Kinnan here? Yeah. Oh, we paid for the pack trigger.
Paid for packed, yeah.
That was so long ago. I almost forgot. I forgot about the pack trigger there.
Scoot's happy to see the Avon downfall just glowing. Correct. Get that out of here. No, it's a great card. It's a great card. I was playing it in Razakats. And then I stopped playing Razakats because I wanted to win some more games.
Yeah, and just in case anybody's wondering, that yellow card in Toaster's hand up there, that's Shorikai, because we had that overloaded rift from earlier, so our commander is in our hand. Then it looks like we just played a battle bond land and said go
Rejuvenating
from
Springs
there.
and go from Kinnan. This game is shaping up.
Yeah, turning into a bit of a grind fest here. It looks like Liliana kind of went for what they thought their best line would be on their turn. Kind of had what we would call a big whiff here, but we have a Jessica's Will incoming. But Kinnan, holding up some mana. Maybe that makes Liliana think twice about going for their Jessica's Will line.
And the thing about Krark, right, is that the Krark giveth and the Krark taketh away.
Yeah, that's a good point.
The Frantic Search Underworld Breach line, pretty cool. You wonder if the EV is like the possibility of winning is higher if you brain freeze twice there instead. But
I mean, I think we both like some flashy lines.
Yeah, absolutely.
I like the Frantic Search line there.
Yeah. We're recasting the bot.
The robot.
The robot.
Mr. Shorikai.
Yes.
And then we have 3 mana available to us. Shorikai is a artifact, correct? Which means Spire of Industry is a rainbow land at the moment. So this will be let's see something cool here. We know we have that blind obedience. Do we want to play it out here, or are we gonna hold up mana again? I don't know. The blind obedience seemed to have been doing much more work than this Avon Mind Sensor has. So maybe we want to put that thing back into play, especially with Alex having a Ranger Captain, enough mana to cast a Kenrith. And, if he has another land into Dockside, like it could be game over very quickly here.
The thing about Ranger Captain of Eos in Alex's Kenrith deck, accepted for those of you in the chat who are not on a first name basis with that cute boy down there. Ranger Captain of Eos is the signal that you are dead on the next turn in that deck. Having played against Alex on that deck several times, Ranger Captain of Eos means that it's over very soon. Etria the Broken King in the chat saying, I want Dylan to just windmill slam humility, please. Unfortunately, I think we are a mana short on the humility, so we're going to activate Shurikai and make a pilot instead.
Mm.
Make a pilot.
Still
and
a good play.
then
Still.
Yeah, good
I
play.
think
Combat. Come on,
I'm
go to
going
combat.
to-
Just do a little combat here.
Bring
Swing
that
with your
even
bird.
mind sensor. Come on, it's free.
Now, you guys, you have to let me know, Scoots. This may have been something that was only an inside joke between my friends, but we always used to call Avid Mind Sensor the idiot bird.
I have
And anytime it would come down, we would be like, "No, that idiot bird," because it would always get you.
Yeah.
Is that just a Wisconsin thing in Milwaukee, or?
I think that's a Scotty thing. We don't. Definitely wasn't a idiot bird.
I'm gonna take a damage from my
Oh,
waist.
Adam from Sadnaw is in here. Helenium, I'm here now because I died to my own Naws. Would you consider that a sad Naws?
Oh yes, 100%. That would be the saddest of Nauses when you die to your own Naws.
Viral Drake in the chat. It's a Wisconsin thing.
Yeah, look at all these valuable supporters here. Captain Moral Support saying you pulled an
Did
Adam.
you pull an Adam?
I'm glad my reputation precedes me in CDH. Oh, a dress down coming in after the Jessica's Will has been cast.
I'm at 4. You're targeting Toaster Dilly.
Interesting. Does Jessica's Will turn off commanders being commanders, or is this just to make it so that it can't be a copy on the stack?
No,
probably?
they are still Commander Lee. They still are a commander, and if there's a dress down flashed in response to the Jessica's Will, the Croc trigger still goes on the stack.
I will respond to your Jessica's Will. Okay.
Yeah, you still get both modes, and you still
Yeah.
This is
That's gonna just allow you to go.
this is
I'll show you.
Yeah, the trigger is an on cast trigger, so the trigger goes on the stack,
2
regardless.
draws in a row. Love it. Respond to that. Yes.
There's a counter spell coming down on something, either the dress down or the Jessica's Will. We'll have to.
Yep. Draw 2.
We're
that's
resolving
right.
the frantic search because it went back to hand.
And then I'll discard a.
Yeah, DJ Yavamaya, this probably saves them from straight up dying, but I think we are.
Attempt to pact the negation.
Oh,
We have a pact. Oh,
the
we
last
got
card in
it.
hand. The
We-
last card in hand.
We had the nuts.
Defense. Fire.
Yeah, untapping 3 lands, and then
Defense, fire, and
the pact coming down on
Fortunately, I do as well.
either dress down or counter
And the
spell.
pact triggers. Wait, let me just.
Pack trigger will be on your next turn. We will.
This is yeah, we're I think we're about to explode if we're so pact hitting the counter spell.
May I go? Yeah, I have nothing else. Okay, then. And then
Counter.
6. And then we have exile the top 3. We have a Fierce Garden Shield,
Fierce.
Buster Storm.
All right, I think we are gonna do some stupid things now.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh,
This
is that a bolt?
6 mana and.
No, is that a bolt or is it a?
I think
heat
it's a
shimmer?
lightning bolt. I think it's a Warhammer lightning bolt. I want to say. Oh, it's the Street Fighter lightning bolt.
Oh, that's so, dude. I swear, I thought that was. It looked like the guy with 2 arms. I thought it was a heat shimmer, but no, you're correct. Yeah, that is a lightning bolt.
Wow.
Things get a little intense here now. Alex though still has the Ranger Captain, so it can't get too crazy.
It does look pretty fierce. Not gonna lie. I think I'm gonna go for Kinnan.
Captain Motorsport, if you copy pact with a bunch of Karks, do you have to pay for each? Yes,
I don't
if they
think it's a
resolve.
Street Fighter. But it is a bolt. Yes, if each pack resolves, but you just have the copies target one of them as long as you get the result that you want.
Go for it next turn. Get rid of the Ranger. If you think that.
Forcing Kenrith to use Ranger Captain of ES now rather than on his turn would be pretty big here, though.
It's not a 0/1.
Dress down just removes the abilities. The creature
If you, I don't think that there is a good point to Ranger Captain of EOS here after the Jessica's Will has resolved. because we have the fierce guardianship and the fluster and the bolt, and we're just gonna do stupid things.
Oh no, this is the stream. The stream is correcting us here. You can't even pop the ranger captain here because the dress down.
Oh, that's true. The dress down is live. Yeah.
So I'm not sure about that.
Yes.
It's a layering effect.
Oh no, right, because of
Captain Moral Support.
I'm perfectly fine
Thank
with
you,
that.
everyone in the chat.
I passed priority on Sagashima.
Yeah.
Yeah. So this
Goes
is
in exile forever, not in graveyard.
All right, so we have just
Yeah, that hurt a lot.
The counter spells are in exile.
exiling the Jessica's Will cards. Are we passing?
Yeah, so it looks like it looks like we whiffed here. Listening in on the game that's going on.
Dress down.
The dress down, I think, stopped Liliana, the Kirk Sakashima player, from being able to do what they wanted to do.
I think they had a line over the top because the Quark trigger for the Jessica's Will should have happened. There was still a Quark trigger, so we could have had a copy so we could have had 2 Jessica's Wills and then dress down resolves, but I think you still have play there.
Yeah. So yeah, sorry about that. A bit of confusion on that turn. But so at end step now, that dress down sacrifices itself, and priority goes around the table again. After the dress down has left the battlefield,
The dress down was cast on upkeep, apparently. I guess I missed that.
Alex tapping the birds,
Brain
tapping
freezing
a land,
for a
brain
lot.
freezing themselves.
Which means Breach can't be far behind, and we have Ranger Captain, so could happen. Could happen.
Yeah, we'll see here. This could be a pretty explosive turn. A lot of interaction has been spent at the table. There's being an Avid Mind Sensor could be kind of detrimental for a Breach line. If we see Alex crack his Ranger Captain here, though, this be kind of big.
Five for Kenrith. Yep. Okay. So we were just brain freezing because we could. Kenrith on the stack.
I mean, Kenrith being cast here is still pretty good, especially after that brain freeze. Because if we had a Dockside put into our graveyard, a reanimated Dockside here is actually huge for Alex if he's able to do that on their turn. Alex being accepted.
I think we have a lot of plays that are live here. We have more winners to report. Go Steelers winning pod number 1. NC Calta winning pod number 17. Surge running winning pod number 21.
Oh, Skylar winning pod 26.
Yo, let's go, Skylar.
Skylar is a pretty popular personality on Twitter, as well as guesting on a lot of streams like Alan, Mental Misplay, as well as some other channels out there. This is their first cedh tournament, and they've won their first game. So congratulations to Skylar.
That is momentum.
It's got to feel pretty good, right? Winning your first.
Oh my gosh, it has to. That's crazy.
Oh, so Asylum Gaming here, playing a land, having a bunch of mana available, and just passing, most likely holding up a cannon activation.
We have Brave Blades in the chat saying, "Hi, Adam."
Oh, what's up, Brave Blade? Brave Blade, a familiar face from the Chaos events.
I am going to follow that up with.
So Toaster playing a Mana Vault here.
Tapping it for 3 colorless.
This is the time, I think, if you're going to cast that Blind Obedience.
On an Arcane Signet.
But you're... Yeah,
Arcane Signet. We return to grinding.
To flip over this island and then
little joke. We're making a Pilato. Okay, I think maybe the copy pasta is about to start in the chat, Adam. So.
Yeah, I'm bearing with it. Yeah, I mean, so if I'm Toaster here, knowing Alex has the Kenrith online now, and that we've put a bunch of cards in our graveyard, I would 100% slam this Blind Obedience here. I don't think you want your opponent's treasures coming into play untapped. I don't think you want like a dockside here now. If you're the Shorikai player, like you have so many artifacts in play now. It's you're fueling your opponent's lines.
Yeah.
So I would start putting some stacks pieces into play as soon as I can because we have quite a bit of mana generation at this point.
You could also, if you have interaction hand, you could also leave that live. You know that the Krark Sakashima player has to essentially tap out to pay their pack trigger on their turn.
Well, they also are hellbent. They have no cards in hand.
Yeah.
Um,
Killstar is in the chat. Hello.
Hello, Killstars.
Good
CDH
morning.
Brazil,
Doesn't do anything
friend of
right now.
ours, friend of Playing with
I'm
Power.
going to
Killstars,
tap
good to see you, man.
1 and a
Yay,
white,
non-polymorph Shorikai. Agreed. Agreed.
and attempt
I
to
do enjoy the
cast
stacks,
his Blind
Shorikai.
Obedience from earlier.
Yes. Okay. This is
Here
the
it comes.
yes.
All right. So Adam, once again, big brained. More big brained than I, certainly.
Well, I think this is 100% the correct play to go with here because like Alex has been biding his time, just kind of slowly playing out his best
Yeah.
pieces. And I think that Alex is a huge threat on his turn, especially with that Ranger Captain in play. So if you have no
100%.
way to get rid of that Kenrith, you need to slow them down as best as you can. And this blind obedience, which we've known about since turn 2,
Yeah,
needed
it's
to
been
come
there.
down again.
Yeah.
Casting spells. I will go to combat, and I will hit Kenrith for 2 in the air. And
Yeah, and the attacks are
well,
going to the
whoever
right
attacker.
spots now too.
2
We're
in the air,
swinging at
Kenrith,
Alex,
and
accepted when applicable.
won't go anywhere. Just 2 in the air.
Hitting down that life
I will
total a
take
little
2 in the
bit. Accepted's deck notably
second
being a
phase, I
Kenrith like
will-
5C good stuff deck. It's running Adnaz, running Underworld Breach, running Dockside Loops. Like it runs everything. So pressuring the life total there is a good play, especially now that there's a huge blocker known as Kenrith on the battlefield. Ooh, and a Grafdigger's Cage to stop Kinnan a little bit here. This is
Grafdigger's Cage is a really good piece here, and I love that art.
Oh, the movie theater secret
Yeah.
lair. Actually, this is huge. It stops not only Kinnan a bit, it stops Alex too. Accepted because now creatures can't enter from the graveyard. So this is a huge play here. This is exactly what I think I wanted to see out of Toaster here. Stacks pieces that affect the majority of the board. You know that Liliana Necromancer is sort of out of the game. They're in top deck mode, right? Their engine is still online, but they need to pay for a pack trigger and draw the cards they need to get there. And Alex or Accepted and Kinnan both require these. Oh my gosh, did we hit a Tidespout Tyrant off the Kinnan activation?
Okay, Grafdigger's Cage back on the stack. Toaster, are you passing on your own spell?
I think I might.
What?
South side?
Yeah, I'm good with that.
No,
let me look at my
I'm not
Grafdigger's
mistaken here, am I, Scoots?
What?
Is that a Tidespout Tyrant from the Kinnan player, or what is that in play?
Yeah, that is a Tidespout Tyrant. Just slipped off the top.
I'm gonna
Yeah, we just half of our one Kinnan activation hit a Tidespout Tyrant.
We flipped that Tidespout Tyrant.
After the oh my gosh, that's wild. And they were countering the Grafdigger's Cage as well with a Mindbreak Trap from Accepted. This is a tricky situation to be in.
Yeah.
Grafdigger's Cage is exiled.
Oh, right. Yes. Sorry. Exiled.
Oh my gosh.
Just in the bin.
What a crazy
Middle of
slew of
going.
events. Now, this Tidespout Tyrant doesn't
Colorless.
yes, you are correct, Drake. The Tidespout Tyrant should be tapped.
Colorless.
And the Tidespout Tyrant, we have the Soul Ring here, but we don't have another rock to do infinite bounce.
Yeah, the Chrome Mox we don't infinite bounce
but
with here, but
the humility came down.
oh,
this
God.
is so big. And Alex already spent the Mindbreak
Yeah.
Trap, so the likelihood of the table having an answer for this card is no.
I'll see the future.
The Tidespout Tyrant, I think the activation was put on the stack with the Blind Obedience on the stack. So the Tidespout would enter untapped as far as I know.
Yeah, no responses.
Yeah, dude, this humility though.
Like humility is kind of a big slam.
This is the point where Toaster Dylan can run away with this game here. That humility is just such a slam on the table. That is so brutal.
You know what would be crazy now?
This is so. This is such that the whole game just changed from
Yeah.
that point on. I mean, so much stuff happened, right? Like you flip a Tidespout Tyrant off your Kinnan activation. There's a Blind Obedience and a Grafdigger's Cage sequencing perfectly to bait out a counterspell from Accepted, just to slam the Humility in their face afterwards. Now everybody just chilling with 1/1s. Who can get out more 1/1s, and can you race Toaster Dylan? I don't think so.
I'd like to pyroblast the Tidespout Tyrant.
Okay.
We're gonna Pyroblast targeting the Tidespout Tyrant.
Okay.
Just getting that thing off the battlefield.
Responses to end step.
You got it, bud.
Untap.
Yo, this is a game.
Draw.
Now we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 mana on Kinnan's board here. Someone in chat really saying like Cyclonic Rift is really your best answer right now. But if you're in Asylum Gaming's position, you're gonna want to wait to pop that until maybe Alex's end step if you have it. But wow, what Toaster Dylan, just I think they played that turn just wonderfully. That was so cool. That was awesome. And now we just get to see, we're gonna just make a bunch of
Unwinding. Wait, what are we? Oh my gosh. We're untapping and we're.
Like to spend one.
yeah, we are moving tier to Toaster Dylan's turn.
Tap my Heliod to put target enchantment from my graveyard on top of my library.
Oh, we're putting it in. We're tapping Hall of Heliod's
Oh, did we
Generosity.
just go around the table and we're back at Dylan's turn already?
Yes. We went around the table because Liliana had to pay for their pack trigger, so that was their turn. Alex had nothing to do on their turn, accepted, and then Asylum Gaming did nothing and passed as well.
It's me.
And
Oh, it's
then,
me. I'm on the right, Alchemist. Hi. Hey.
So then we just used Hall of Heliod's Generosity to put an intruder alarm back on top of our library and draw it for turn. So now we're going to see what we do with this intruder alarm. Creatures don't untap during their controller's untap step, and whenever a creature comes into play, untap all creatures. This means that we can make infinite pilots with Shorakai if we can let this intruder alarm resolve here, if we can get it through.
And then I will
Love that.
two floating. Let me find my other colorless marker.
Oh my God, show me the Paradise Mantle, says DJ Yavamaya. Oh my gosh, the sun has returned. Hello.
This could be the GG's here. If the intruder alarm resolves, I know we still have quite a bit of cards in Toaster Dylan's hand. We probably have protection for our intruder alarm as well.
This Shorakai deck is kind of wild. I love it.
I think this Shorakai player has played awesome this whole game. I mean,
played perfectly.
Yeah.
Spend 1 to activate Shorakai.
All right, we're gonna activate Shorakai here.
Is that with humility, doesn't it? Shorakai
Does not work with humility in play though. If Shorakai is a creature, the intruder alarm loop does not work.
If I were to turn him into one with intruder alarm, then he would lose that ability.
Yep.
I'm gonna draw 2.
Yes, because he would be a creature, right? He would untap. Yeah.
Shorakai is an artifact, but artifacts don't untap off of intruder alarm only.
Yeah. This is a good point. Good point.
Yeah.
Chat. I may have got a little excited a little early.
A legendary artifact vehicle, aka a big old Gundam.
Big old Gundam guy. Still, though, that intruder alarm is such a threat to the rest of the table here. Basically saying, if you remove my humility, if you don't win, I'm winning anyways. So
it's also we're in such a good position here. It's wild.
And attempt to cast this intruder alarm.
Okay.
This is also a cheeky way to get your intruder alarm to resolve, because the rest of the table will be like, it doesn't work with humility anyways, so I don't need to mess with it. And then you just have the ability to win the game.
Yeah, absolutely. We have a lot of angles to win the game in Shorakai, and this humility play is, if you think about it, in poker we'd call it a pretty sick spot, because there's literally nothing your opponents can do. If they let it intruder's alarm resolve, and now they cannot remove humility, which is galaxy brained, I would say, on the part of Toaster here. Really playing some good stuff.
Yeah.
Yes, Viral Drake in poker. poker player.
Oh, right, because of the good point.
So this spell, are you familiar with what spell is being cast here, Scoots?
Is it Merchant Scroll? Merchant Scroll, I
I'm sitting
think.
here like, what the fuck do I
Yes.
have in
Which
this
finds a
so happy.
blue instant?
Search your library for a blue instant card, reveal that card, and put it into your hand.
Oh,
then
it's
you
an
may shuffle it.
impulse, says Viral Drake. Okay.
Impulse.
And then I just shuffle.
You think with the
Shuffle
amount of
my
Park
library
Sekishima I played against, I would know these cards better. So yeah, so we're gonna look at the top 4 cards of your library, put one of them into your hand and the rest on the bottom of your library in any order.
What card did you cast?
Impulse.
Impulse does not
I'll
shuffle.
bet-
Impulse doesn't.
Yes, it does. It says shuffle your library afterwards at the bottom.
No, Impulse doesn't shuffle anymore.
Uh-oh.
Does say
They
shuffle your
errated
library
that. Impulse does not shuffle anymore.
We may have a judge call here.
Look at the top 4 cards. Put one of them in your hand and the rest on the bottom of your library in any order.
If you look
Yeah,
at the,
so-
I've got the very old printing. That might be just me.
Yeah, more recent versions of that card do not have shuffle.
Yeah,
your
so
library.
right now there
It doesn't
is
say
a
shuffle on the old version either.
No, yeah, it does. It does say
there
shuffle your
yeah,
library
there
afterwards,
so
but
okay. Sorry, we're listening to the table have a conversation here.
Yeah,
So
we're listening to the
essentially
table. Have a conversation on Impulse.
we have the old printing of Impulse here where it says shuffle your library at the bottom of the card.
Yeah.
So
Bizarre.
they resolved their impulse, looked at the top 4, and then shuffled their library. And then the rest of the players at the table asking them, why are you shuffling if you casted a impulse?
Yeah.
So we're gonna see how this gets resolved here.
I'm not sure.
They might be calling a judge to the
how to proceed, or
That's
yeah.
bizarre.
they're
Yeah.
going
So
to
now they're saying, should we ask a judge how to proceed? Which is I think probably the correct angle here.
yeah.
I wonder why.
So
they
yeah,
did
I
that.
mean, looking
Yeah,
at this
that's
board state
ridiculous.
and looking how
Why
things have
to, like,
been
describe
going,
if it's now the same card
the
versus
short
not.
Toaster Dylan here in a
Never
really
seen him
commanding
take
position
off
here. So
part
many
of
stacks
card.
pieces, so many good things to be in play. We
Sorry,
still have a
yeah.
lot of other outs in the deck as well, like Icer Conceptor,
They do that.
dramatic reversal
Hello.
loops, and things like
Hello.
Hello again.
I had
that. And
judge call somewhere.
Yeah, I just-
so I'll just say because
Wow.
you did an impulse.
Why is the judge so much louder than everybody else?
yeah, it's a little distracting.
Oh, okay.
All of a sudden,
Hello.
yeah, there's Judge yelling in our ear. I was like, "Whoa!"
Yeah, I think how do we unshuffle our library?
I think that this is kind of a
I
this
think you
usually
just
gets
get a
resolved. Yeah, this usually just resolves in a way where they
Yeah.
just make you shuffle again, so the judge can see, and then it just is what it is, right?
Yeah, I mean, my copy of Impulse also said shuffle on it back in the day, and I got corrected. And you learn that once, and you never do it again. But
Yeah, back in the day, Scoot's kind of letting everyone know that he is quite the boomer.
I am a boomer. I'm 34 years old, so I'm basically gonna die next year. I'm a full 10 years older than my co-host here, so
Don't get don't get too ahead of yourself. 11 years.
11 years. Oh, sorry. Even a foot even farther in the grave.
Oh man, that's okay though. You have lots of years of experience. You bring many good things to the table, and your boomer humor is not lost on us youngins.
No, you don't need to.
It's payday, yo. That's the nicest thing you could have said. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. But I am indeed 34. Wow, so kind, but I got good genes.
Where do you shop for your jeans?
Destination XL.
Oh, very nice.
Yeah.
Very nice.
Yeah, I'm a real chunkster these days.
That you had in your hand, correct?
So
I'm Max P MTG in the chat. I could be Adam's dad.
funnily enough, Max, you could be my dad. Would you like to take a DNA test and we can find out? So
God, what is this soup store thing? Everybody's talking about buying clothes at the soup store. It's happened like 3 times in the last 3 days.
Well,
I don't know the reference.
well, I think it's because you're always talking about the sexiest soup.
So should I?
The
Maybe-
sexiest soup.
Maybe
Yeah.
you're at the soup store looking for your clothes because you do
Perhaps.
seem to frequent the soup store quite often.
I only buy the sexiest soup on the shelf.
So like yeah, as you can see here, the judge is making
Making Southside Crow unshuffle their library by shuffling it again.
Yeah, you have to actually reverse. This is a reverse shuffle, is what we call it in the industry. So we're doing a reverse shuffle here, unshuffling, and setting our library back to its original shuffled state, and then we will proceed with the rest of the game here.
Captain Moral Support, how much do you charge to read bedtime stories? My going rate for VO work is $30 an hour. So it depends on how long the story is.
That's yeah, that's
Heated
pretty, that's a pretty good
MTG.
rate.
No one is gonna fall for that. Get out of here.
Yeah,
Like,
if you guys actually want, Scoots has a Patreon where instead of a judge or a coaching tier, he has a bedtime stories tier. So
yeah, that's true. The bedtime stories tier is now live.
doing a reverse Brazilian cut now to unshuffle
Yeah.
our deck. For those of you just joining us, we
we had a copy of Impulse from Visions, and it says shuffle on the bottom of it.
Even though it has been eroded to no longer shuffle. One of the more drastic erratas of a card, I would say, completely changing a mechanic of what it does.
That's very drastic for sure.
Here, I totally understand why this would happen. So it is simply a warning.
Okay, and then a warning is being handed out here for the just not having the correct text
we're gonna
on the
get
card.
a warning.
Yeah, which is no big deal. You need 2 warnings of the same thing in the same game to get even a GRV, and then you need 4. Yeah, it's like so no
now
detriment
we're
here to Liliana.
The copy of Impulse. Yeah, beautiful.
Now let's see if they shuffle again. Maybe they reread Impulse. And
Liliana Necromancer has such a well-arranged board state right now. You get the Dredge Graveyard. You have the counter for how many times your commanders have been cast. The Panoramic Commanders. And we ripped the Ristic Study off the Impulse. And we're casting it. That's beautiful. Zerob0 in the chat. Hey, fam.
Marsh Flats. I'll crack it.
Chatting from the toilet. Hope it's all coming out good for you, bud. Playing a Marsh Flats, cracking it into the Mind Sensor, and tutoring our entire library. Oh, there's a Humility in play. So Humility notably turns off Avid Mind Sensor.
Yeah, it does turn off the Avid Mind Sensor here. So we get to search freely if we decide to search.
Reformed Grinder Zane, more like renewed Grinder Zane. Going to go look at the tournament results and see if we have any more winners. We got Vinny Apps in Pod 4 winning. We have Dreadwave winning Pod 6. We have Steppen Razor winning Pod 12. Pennyman winning Pod 13. What else we got? Jagged Peak winning Pod 22. Christopher K. Claw winning Pod number 24. Young Scipio.
Yeah, I was gonna say Young Scipio. They're a person who is in a lot of top 16s.
A lot of top 16s, a lot of tournaments, playing Blue Farm.
Blue Farm, yep. Blue Farm
Duncan
player.
J. Jewel with Pod 28. Magic is a very hard game, says the table.
Yeah, it is a difficult game. It's why we cast rather than play. Because of how hard 100%. The game can be.
100%, that's me.
We understand.
No, I know. For 7 months, for 7 months worth of games, I've always.
Yeah, so we are
poor Crow.
The table just talking about the poor Impulse Shuffle. Crow said,
for 7 months worth of games, I've been doing that.
That's so funny. Also, looks like they have a Ristic Study in play now as well. So a good draw off of that Impulse, getting some cards back into their hand, going to help them progress through the table a little bit. Maybe lose to Shorikai a little less hard with more cards in your hand. But
Nobody Chris. Hello, nobody Chris.
And I can't even attack anybody.
Hi, bud. Nobody Chris used to be a chatter on when I had a stream like 4 years ago. Nobody Chris was in my chat. It's good to see them.
Dude, shouts out to the day ones. Nobody Chris.
Yeah.
That's cool.
I appreciate that.
So we're it looks like we've moved to the to Toaster Dylan's turn. Big
Back
turn
around
coming
the
up
table.
here.
Yeah.
We got like 8 mana in play. We're gonna see what we do with it here. So I mean, we get to just continuously make pilots. Eventually, here we're gonna run down the table, putting the
I'm gonna
curse
try and
totem.
close my
up the shore.
curtains here.
Oh my God, Scoots! Oh wow. That's so funny. So we put a curse totem into the bin with the Shorikai activation. And we're passing the turn here. Okay. This game is getting grindy. We are at the pilot beatdown stage, as Max P MTG has stated in chat. We are just going to slowly accrue pilots and try to be the beatdown at the table. With a blind obedience, a humility. You cannot remove the humility, because if you do, the intruder alarm will let enable the Shorikai player. There's just so much going on that board state. You need to find a way to deal with it. And as you can see, the players are just draw going. We're just draw going
being
around the
the
table.
beatdown here is sufficient, right? Like, you got everything in play. You can make 1/1s faster than all the rest of them.
Yeah, actually, Nano Jade, really good point in the chat saying, I don't think there's enough time left to kill with only pilots.
Yeah,
although
95 minutes, no turns. So
the table's starting to move faster now, though. We're already back to Toaster Dylan's turn. So
Yeah,
we're
we have-
passing pretty quickly, kind of upping the speed of the game a bit.
we have 17 minutes left in the round.
Oh, DJ Yavimaya bringing up a great point.
Bringing up a great point.
Yeah. Start extorting with that blind obedience.
Start
That is a win
extorting, yeah.
condition.
I clicked the pass button instead of the lose health button.
Oh, that's fine.
Yep.
Yeah, there's can Shorikai win on time? This is the great question.
That's the real question, isn't it?
Everybody wants to know, can Shorikai pull it out in 95 minutes with no extra turns? Your board state is immaculate. Your board presence is huge. Can you close it in 17 minutes? We will find out next time. No.
We can't have the One Piece cliffhanger ending. What that card is.
Oh, we're putting a Phyrexian Metamorph of our own on
Is
the
that
stack?
the Phyrexian Metamorph, the same
No,
one?
That's
Okay.
not. That's not a Phyrexian
No,
Metamorph.
chat, help me out. What is that? Is
I'm
it
gonna-
Skull Clamp?
Is it Skull Clamp? I'm
It's
gonna
a
try to
Skull Clamp.
raise
It's a
chant.
Skull Clamp. It's got to be a Skull Clamp.
It is a Skull Clamp.
And chat says Secret Lair Skull Clamp. Thank you so much.
Chat out here buying all the secret layers. They know every card in and out.
Apparently. I gotta learn some more Secret Lair knowledge. But the misstep came down on it from accepted, realizing that letting that Skull Clamp get online is a silly play. Would not
Yes,
work.
it would not be a good play to
Would not
to
work
let the-
out.
to let the Skull Clamp stick around here. Immediately, we would get to draw what 5 cards if we wanted, like, and an extra card every turn. I think that was a good play there.
DJ Yellowmaya, someone dropped the Secret Lair stasis.
We're tapping some mana here.
Oh, no,
we're
you
going
can't do
for it.
that. You can't do
Oh
that.
no, you can't. You can't target it. You can't target your own stuff with Cyclonic Rift.
No. He was attempting to do it.
Shorikai
Okay.
basically play testing by watching Toaster play. Toaster is putting on a clinic right now.
Yeah, there's a little bit of political play going on at the table. That Cyclonic Rift, we revealed that and said we would pay for Cyclonic Rift, then said, oops, nope, I can't do that, and took it back. And then some players at the table being like, you're lucky. Because
We need more
it doesn't
enchantment.
have a legal target though.
Yeah.
The way it was cast, so it can't be cast that way. Lemon Peppa saying The Shorakai player is me when I have the game unlocked, but I spill spaghetti all over my table and
What am I
somehow find a
supposed
way.
to do with all this spaghetti?
Hey, my
Hey,
spaghetti!
what do I do with all this spaghetti? Okay, I think that's probably not PC. I don't know. But a mana crypt coming down from Shorakai.
More mana, nothing to do with it. We're gonna see though where we're taking this game. We need to draw more cards as a Shorakai player here. We don't have enough card advantage in play. Try to get extra card a turn. Oh,
He's
we are
extorting now. Excellent. What
There
is
we
this
go.
analogy, Tainted? Like cooking ravioli on the grill?
Wait,
What?
falling in between the grates into the charcoal, turning your ravioli into charcoal. So yeah, we extorted on the mana crypt there now too. So now we're finally casting spells and extorting these spells with the slew of mana that we have available.
We're
The rest of
killing
the
people
table
now.
The rest of the table looking at that mana vault and that mana crypt saying, hey, our win condition is in play as well. You know, they have to try to race the mana vault and mana crypt damage with the extort damage and hope that that's enough to close out this game.
Captain Moral Support being real randy in the chat.
Yeah, Joe, calm down, moral support.
You're not supposed to get that. That's not a function of your body generally. We have a Jumble with 2 cards in hand. Sorry, Gamble with 2 cards in hand on the stack.
Hey, this is what we call the Red Entomb.
Red Entomb.
Red Entomb. Drake asking the real question here: what kills faster, 1/1 pilots or a mana crypt? We will find out.
Yeah. We have 12 and a half minutes in the round now, so we are cruising along.
Cruising our way into a draw very fast here, unless someone can close out this game, unless someone can get rid of this humility. So I have
They're searching for a volcanic island, I think they said.
So Shorakai can crew at instant speed, right?
Crewing is an ability of the card. I think it's just something you can activate. It could become a creature, but it doesn't need to be.
Because the reason why I ask is we keep tapping our Shorakai to draw a card in our turn. But if someone else at the table were to remove our humility, could we not just win the game or draw our, like as much as we want at instant speed?
Well, no, because you're gated on mana. Right? Like you can't. It does cost 1 to activate Shorakai.
Yeah, but then the intruder alarm untaps all your creatures. Yes,
Only
yes,
creatures.
Yes. Dang, we need some mana producing creatures here. Thank you for the clarifications. See, this is why I can always count on you.
The dream team here.
Honestly. Plenty Column saying, where does the mana come from? Listen, I get it now. Okay, I get it. I was asking the question.
Get him, Eric. Get him. Ooh, is that end the festivities as an option? Maybe that's cool. I like that. No, it's not really live though. Krark has no abilities.
Yeah.
Krark has no text.
All enchantments. That would be lovely.
A Cyclonic Rift would do it. That bounces them all. We're looking for enchantment removal specifically. Tough to come by in Izzet, unfortunately. You're pretty much limited to bounce spells.
Dockside, but I have no cards in hand. That doesn't really
Dockside doesn't work.
Nope, it would not ETB.
Dockside is completely turned off.
Yeah, they're just table talking here, trying to figure out what do we get with this gamble. Burning time on the clock here.
You could only do it for the regular.
So if I was Toaster Dylan here, I would be like, hey,
yeah,
let's search this up. I believe, by the way, because of the two judge calls that we have, this pod does have a time extension as well. So it is a little bit longer than the 10 that we have on the clock because there were 2 judge calls in this game.
Let's look at some more winners. Pennyman winning pod 13. Corey winning pod 16. Liz B winning pod 23. Transformatron taking down pod 30.
And Connor taking down pod 9.
Winning pod 9.
Connor, a friend of ours that we rag on for not competing. winning.
It is
pod
true.
one.
We do
and or.
we do beat them up a little bit.
It's
Playing? What are they playing?
Or the other.
Elo
Yeah.
questioning
yeah,
if this is
it's
slow
known.
play. It's
course,
up to
of
the
course. Yeah,
table to
It's up to
determine
the
whether or
table to
not.
ask.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There you
Let's-
go.
Let's choose.
Will
let's
Kirk
choose
ask
one.
for
Let's-
each
let's-
card
Finale
in
Promise
his
is a good one, I
deck?
think.
Yes, Finale of Promise is your
Good.
gamble target. You have 2
Yeah.
cards in hand now.
I
Finale
mean,
of Promise, a good gamble target. Because even if you, yeah,
Yeah, fair.
you have to win
Okay,
here,
I'm
but
gonna I don't want to be.
You don't want to be slow playing. This was a little bit of
Yeah.
slow playing, but you're good.
yeah, there's
accepted in the chat saying this is a little bit slow play.
so you don't want to be slow playing, but you're kind of doing it a little bit. Finale of Promise, for people that don't know, is a sorcery that says you may cast up to 1 target instant and or up to 1 target sorcery from your graveyard, each with converted mana cost X or less, without paying their mana cost. If a card cast this way would be put
so
into your
that's
graveyard
my
this
hand.
turn, exile it
So
instead, and if
okay,
X is
great.
10 or more, copy
Um,
each of those
so
spells twice.
odds,
You choose new targets for the
I'll roll for
copies.
it.
Might be their best out
Yeah.
even
for this
before
Shorkai board state. Otherwise,
Even.
we're just
Yes.
prolonging the
Love it.
inevitable.
Okay. Yes. Okay.
Ooh, fancy as well. You can see that we have the coin flip island, and we won the flip there on the finale after the gamble.
Oh, that's why that Krark in Sakushima looks so familiar.
Red Blast
It's
Will.
David's Krark in Sakushima. Zenhu's.
Either of those.
Oh, really?
Let's go with
Yeah, it's like the same.
Something to deal with
Oh,
trigger alarms.
wild.
Fantastic.
Yes, let's get the
I was
power
gonna
up.
say it does look very familiar.
Maybe they like printed them out. I don't know.
From the ancient tomb. Then we'll if it, that, does that help?
David saying those must be a printout of my altars.
Yeah.
Interesting. We have some
Yeah, I'm good.
Okay.
altar
The Pyroblast will target
Finale
plagiarism.
resolves.
No.
Pyroblast.
What's my target? The intruder.
Pyroblast targeting the
Intruder alarm.
Yeah, I have no effects.
And the Jessica
Okay.
Sure. Yep.
And now
That
the
does-
Jessica's will.
I believe it's Toaster.
I have 5 cards.
Five.
Yep, it's
I have
toast.
5.
Five.
All right, everybody's got 5 cards in hand, except for Alex
five red.
accepted, who has 3.
Even though that,
Alter plagiarism.
Yeah,
Maybe.
So 5 and then
The plot thickens.
Scissor, Swan Song, Moxamber. Play Moxamber.
Nice.
Play
Playing the
Moxamber.
Moxamber.
Okay.
Casting
Consider.
a Consider.
We're going as fast as we can.
The blue mana from the Mox Amber.
Yeah.
Oh, the Chrome Mox.
Sure, yeah.
Yep. Determining
Win the
costs.
top card.
Are we dumping it or are we taking it?
I'm not sure. That's the question.
Graph
Uh-oh.
Digger's Cage. There is no Graph Digger's Cage in play.
Yeah,
Should
Grafdigger's
I-
Cage was actually exiled with the
should I say
Mindbreak
it?
Trap.
Yeah.
Am I allowed to
You
say
can
it?
say anything.
It's up to you.
It's a snap. I'm not sure.
Oh,
whether
it's a
to do that
snap.
or not.
Snap doesn't affect the game at all.
Yeah, that's what I.
Yeah,
what I was
so-
Snap
thinking.
only hits a creature. Under the Chrome Mox is a Mind Break Trap. Flinty Golem, or was,
A
but
lot.
now something else, I guess, but it's blue.
You fetched
Phantasmal Image under the
believe
Chrome Mox.
I'll just
No, wait, that's under
Three at the beginning of the turn.
Ken and Cam's Chrome Mox. I don't
To be-
know anymore.
to be
It
quite
was
honest,
Mind
we
Break
d-
Trap.
Yeah.
It's Mind Break Trap still. Mind Break Trap. The
Yep.
Cyclonic Rift was cast by them, so it's still Mind Break Trap.
So we don't know what the card we got off of the Consider is. We don't know if we have the mana to pay for it.
I know.
And we're still on the Krark Sakashima player's turn.
I'll play it.
Quite a long turn for 1 card in hand. A Phantasmal Image.
Notably, Mellow and Sight. Thank you for the Prime sub.
Okay.
We casted the Phantasmal Image, which has no abilities. And so
Enters and dies.
enters and dies, yeah.
Cards in hand, Dylan.
5. Still 5.
So this might be a good time as we're winding down on the game here to remind everyone listening of some really exciting things happening with Playing with Power. So
I think it is.
if you go to the Playing with Power store, merchandise is on sale 10% off through the end of January with promo code MOXMastersJanuary. That's right, promo code MOXMastersJanuary, all in caps. Use that code. You'll get 10% off of the entire merchandise store through the end of January.
I have no
Also,
idea.
they have recently revamped their Patreon, which notably makes the Playing with Power League now free to play.
I pass on Breach.
Playing with Power League is an amazing league for people that want to compete a little bit more and earn points for the Mox Masters Invitational, which is an in-person cedh tournament happening in Q3 of this year, where points from this event as well as the league can get you an invitation to that event from Playing with Power. And a huge turn here from Alex accepted.
Breach,
Underworld Breach,
LED.
LED. Oh my gosh. Do we have the brain freeze? We had the breach the whole time.
It's got a huge graveyard. The brain freeze is in his yard already.
No way. This could be it.
Yeah,
Is Alex
this
going to take it here?
It without interaction. We'll see what happens. But
notably, the LED entering tapped from the blind obedience does
It
not
doesn't
matter
matter.
because it's just a sacrifice.
and
It's
we've got
not
a ranger captain, so
Look at my bin to see what counter spells I
Yeah.
have.
Oh, is the drawer good?
Yeah, I'm surprised that we didn't crack the ranger captain before going for this line.
notably
Oh,
Alex.
because we can't.
You can't. There's a humility.
Yeah.
Uh, Alex, notably in my D&D game, plays a character named Ramon, and we have a Ramon in the chat.
Hey, Ramon.
Ramon.
Storm count is 2.
This is awesome. There's the brain freeze here, so we can
Yeah,
crack that
we have the
LED
brain
for
freeze in
3
the yard.
blue.
Yeah.
Actually, we just paid it. We paid for the brain freeze here
Yeah.
now.
Am I good to put 9 in the bin?
Yes.
I will.
It's
It would
pretty
be
much
short-
exactly Flusterstorm here, but that even that is not sufficient.
No, and the Shorkai player here is holding the priority on this spell with the brain freeze on the stack. So
God,
like
I
brain freeze would go on the
wish,
stack and then all the storm triggers would go on the stack following.
these
Make me
two.
draw. I might draw.
So we're gonna see here what we're doing as the Shorkai
and
player.
Attempt to cast a dramatic reversal.
Dramatic reversal.
Dramatic reversal.
I cannot pay for.
I think we're just untapping
We're
everything and
untapping
drawing
exactly Shurikai, Man of All, and Soul Ring here. And trying to draw into
a card. An out, I guess,
an
right?
out. Yeah.
I would like to tap for a red.
But instead, we'll Pyroblast
Red
it.
blast the dramatic reversal.
Red Blast, same thing.
Rebbing. Get
Yep.
rebbed, buddy. Yeah, this is really good play here from Alex, noting exactly what spells we have. Now, if you watch Alex's screen here, you can see he's got his face cam on. Oh, actually, our face cams are blocking him. That's unfortunate. But his
Alex
face
has his
cam-
face cam on, yeah.
Yes, and his graveyard is in his hand for people that are going to question where the graveyard is. We can see Alex utilizing his graveyard. You can see he just put it back on the table there.
To the REB.
Viral Drake in the chat. This game is messy. Yeah, this is a pretty wonky board state.
Yeah, a bit messy, a bit sussy. This is a game for
A
sure.
sussy baka for sure. I don't know what that means, but the kids say it and it's funny. So
Hey, you know,
Yeah, that's it.
we'll educate you boomer folk on the
Thank
the
you.
lingo, the slang. The texture is pee pee poo poo.
Pee pee poo poo. Yes.
It's up to you.
Very eloquent as always, Skylar.
So we have this Reb targeting the dramatic reversal. Mental misstep from the Clark player hitting the Reb. We want Toaster Dylan here.
We
to
have misstep
untap.
back.
Oh, back in
In
hand,
the
you're
in the
saying?
yard. There was there was misstep already.
Oh, misstepping the misstep. Alex blowing a lot of cards in graveyard here, but that's
Monty-
okay. It's just
well,
gonna
he's-
make his
If he mills 9, he's good.
yeah.
Monty Golem says we have not maintained it properly. Some judges might even say at times we failed to do so. Yeah, it might be in fact a failure to maintain game state, but you know what?
Original brain freeze
Gotta call for these things.
Look at this. It was a debate. We have more.
I would like.
Yes, he is
to
building
thank you
Storm
so
for
much that.
whenever he casts Brain
Right.
Freeze next.
Like
That is
this
true.
and
Max
tap you for a
MP,
blue.
Max PMTG say yes,
I think
please, son,
we-
translate the lingo for me.
Yeah, we are at time in the round.
First of all,
Oh,
may I draw?
I will not.
I believe, yeah, we are time and round. I believe that this game has a slight time extension, but it will be Alex or nothing here, pretty much.
Yeah.
for 3 red mana.
Oh, we're getting rid of our hand. Did we have some
Yeah.
spice in
What's
our
rubbing
hand?
the Cycroft?
Oh,
Getting,
we're just rubbing again.
we're just rubbing again.
You may.
That could be. Oh, that could be kind of a
That was
big
my only
misplay
Yeah.
there by
so-
letting the
Then I will stay.
existing spells resolve with a Cyclonic Rift in hand. You could have Cyclonic
that's why
Rifted
I'm-
the Underworld Breach with everything on the stack.
Alrighty.
Yeah. 5 brain. Storm counts on cast. Yes, correct. The storm trigger goes on the stack after the spell is cast. You can't increase the storm after the fact.
Yeah, I have nothing else.
Yeah, the storm count does not increase after that. Oh, I have a delivery. Thank you. Appreciate that.
There is notably a gamble in there if we needed anything else, but we do not.
There's a dress down.
Everything is coming up Kenrith, it looks like.
What is my removal for
Yeah,
the,
I think
bear?
Kenny might take this down. The only downside is that we have to find a way to get rid of this humility if we're going to go for a Thoracle line.
You have your entire graveyard, right? So
Yeah.
That seems more efficient.
But
Yeah.
bouncing humility, cracking your ranger captain.
Our extension.
yeah,
I will recast my LED, paying for the
everyone, let's get some King Kennys in the chat here.
Yeah, and
As-
Alex can pay for Risic every time.
Yep.
I'm gonna get rid of my cards. I'm sorry. I had to do that first.
Mulak in the chat referring to your guys'
Nice
D&D
Yeah.
game, saying Alex can't hit a goblin, but he can be popping on cedh.
Max PMTD. I mean, there's
Are
wheels
in fact or enchantment.
in his. There's wheels that he has. There's also Thassa's Oracle. You just bounce the humility and play Thassa's Oracle. You can do that too.
We got the Kenny clowns in the chat. As Kenrith here is going for the win.
Brain freeze targeting myself for a shit ton.
What are
Oh,
we? Oh yeah, no, that is a legal number that you can name.
Alex just stating
What
that
was
he's
9
going
last
to
time, and
cast
then
Brain
what was
Freeze
the
for
after that?
a crap ton.
No, sorry,
You can.
it's
I
nine
think
now.
you can. I
It's
think you
9
can say the big word.
Yes, but the storm's
Say the
10,
big
but
word.
Maybe not. I don't know.
Total cards. Got it.
Ryan, can we
No,
say
no,
the big word?
On
Okay.
Okay.
the brain freeze says-
Ryan's given us permission to occasionally say the big word.
Yeah.
So it's
And
nine.
then the original.
A poo ton,
Yeah,
as
it's
Tainted
also
said.
Tainted.
Yes,
Yeah,
absolutely.
Yeah, you can also, the notable thing about Kenrith is you remove the humility and then make your opponents draw after you brain freeze them.
Oh, very fun. Yeah, we have a slew of fun lines here.
Yeah.
We could even use Kenrith to just reanimate our own Thoracle rather than casting.
Yeah, you could totally do that too.
It depends on how flashy Alex Accepted wants to get here.
Yeah, I mean, 2 casts of LED gets you a reanimated Thassa's Oracle, which is probably safer because it's pact resistant.
Yeah.
Next on the step, snap, pyroblast.
Wow.
lightning bolt,
So
um,
it's so cool to see. Like this entire game, it kind of seemed like Toaster
brain
Dylan
freeze, cyclonic
was
rift.
had the game on lock, kind of running away with it. You
We
can
are
see that
5 minutes
Shorikai
past the-
not being able to find a way to
Couldn't
assemble
close it.
its win
Yeah.
condition. Yeah. And a deck like Alex, which for the majority of the game just played very slow, right? We saw not a lot of early development, a snap and an abrupt decay, and then just biding your time and coming out with a win with a really well-timed brain freeze after a Korok Sakashima fizzle.
Can I drop
The
it?
other
Alex.
thing, yeah, sorry, go ahead.
I was just gonna say, Alex showing how big-brained he is as a pilot and why he consistently top 4s and top 16s all these events.
Absolutely. Accepted constantly running deep in events, and this is why.
All those cards you've drawn.
Also, we have the silence that we're just casting now that works too. The thing about
I just drew a
stacks
card
and
right
Shorikai and humility is that occasionally your stacked pieces interrupt the win plans that you have baked into your deck, and you usually will get to another win plan somehow, but in this case, Shorikai not able to
think of it that way.
get there through their own humility, which is unfortunate. But
Yeah. Yeah,
Uh,
this is something that we see a lot. And you can see like Whitefire saying this is usually how stacks plays out, where these these decks that come into online events and even in-person events,
I do.
Stack struggles to win games, right? And like when you look at the poly Shorikai list, that's something that it tries to mitigate, right? You can't play the humility, but you can assemble faster win conditions within the time constraints of tournament cedh. You know, even with unlimited time, it still isn't enough here because you have to race these efficient decks with efficient win conditions, like Accepted's 5-color list here. That's just running the best win
Just
cons in
every
the
good
game.
card. Yeah.
Yeah.
Say good game because I'm going to like.
So it's
I'm gonna cast mnemonic
Alex
spell,
proposing a loop
go for
and an end state here.
off with my Thoracle.
yeah, basically once the silence has resolved, he can win the game any way that he chooses. And he's just explaining to the table, you guys pick
Yeah.
which one you want to lose to, and I'll just say that that's what I did.
After the silence resolves, you remove the humility and then win the game, and the table has accepted it.
Yeah, good game here. Congratulations to Accepted for taking down round 1 and our feature match game for round 1. What a good game. What a long one, right? This
It was a long
took
one.
the
Yeah, we
entirety of round
were
1.
we were 7-8 minutes over time.
I think I could have won that if I played
Which is not bad. This new structure for tournaments, specifically online tournaments, is really well suited to our format, I believe. You can see that there is this 95-minute constraint with
95
no
minutes,
extra
no timer.
turns.
Yeah.
Which lends these games to ending like on time in a good manner, and it gives the table enough. I mean, that game was what? How many turns did we go through? It was more than 7.
Many. It was very deep.
So like these games are going quite long, and it's not really affecting them too negatively.
I think we still have games going, or they haven't been reported. But Pod 25 ended in a draw. We still, it looks like we still have Pod 29 and Pod 2 going.
Yeah, Pod 2 is still going in Pod 29. Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. So while we're hanging out, there's a short break in between rounds, but we will come back and obviously keep the fun going. But while we're hanging out, I do want to, I know we spoke on it moments ago, but this month on the Playing with Power website, you can get 10% off with code MOXMASTERS January until the end of January. And also the revamped Patreon tiers, which allow you to, as a Patreon benefit, join the Playing with Power League, where you can earn points towards the Mox Masters Invitational, which is a Q3 cedh in-person tournament happening this year. So get your league points, enter the Mox Masters events, get your points there, and get invited to the Mox Masters Invitational. Only the best players are going to be there.
I mean, I'm playing in the leagues and I'm donating points to people by giving them free easy wins. So
yeah, entry fee donator 03 Adam, big fan.
So yeah, get in the leagues. It's fun. There's actually a lot of really like notable players in the league that are doing the leagues right now. I know that like our casting partner Shauna, she's been doing the leagues. The games are getting like really high quality in the Playing with Power server, and it's just a lot of fun to be a part of that community and those leagues. So make sure you check them out, because you can earn points not only from these Mox Masters events, and getting to an invitational tournament like that, the first of its kind of that size, is really something special. So you want to be a part of it. So don't miss out. Grind some points, get as many as you can, and hopefully we will see you at the Mox Masters Invitational.
Nice dramatic pause, bud. Wow, so good.
Thank you. I have a really good mentor. Their name is Scoots, and they've taught me everything I know.
Oh my gosh. Thank you. Too kind. We have some gamers in the chat, so congratulations to all the winners of round 1. May your good fortune continue into round 2, or not. May your opponents beat you. I don't know. Either way, if you want to see some more really good games of cedh, we're gonna take a break.